This is Patriot Sports Radio.
Patriot Sports Radio.
Fed up with the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media. If it's sports from the high school level to the pros, we're talking about it like the red-blooded Americans we are.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Let's do this. Here's Eric, John, Chris, and the coach.
Welcome back, my friends. If you're new, then welcome in Patriot Sports Radio Football Edition. My name is Eric. I am your host. Glad to have you with us, and thank you for those reviews. We're going to see how everybody likes doing the recap on Monday evening. It allows us to sleep on these games, come in with some fully formed thoughts. Maybe it's better for you, the viewer, as well. We'll find out. We'll find out what works. We always do. That was quite an NFL Sunday. We saw a third-string QB and a Wildcat offense run out of necessity. We lost some good players to injury as well, but before to get to all that, and we will, remember the chat is open for your comments and opinions. We'd love to hear what you thought of the action. Unlike most people, we actually do care about your fantasy team, at least a little bit. That said, let's do the intros. Chris is over there running the show. John is fresh off a personal training session, and the endorphins are high. I think we get a good performance out of John this evening. Angela is here as well in her Red Wings gear for, I believe, the second show straight. How are you doing? You're excited about hockey?
I wore some Viking stuff yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about hockey. The season has started.
Let's do that hockey.
Let's do that hockey thing. So old time hockey preferably. And I know that, John, you might find it interesting that they can't give seats away in Chicago. I noticed while following my Blackhawk page that they're trying to give away packages that include 10-ticket package with free food and drinks, $40 per person, la, la, la. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's what happened when you dismantle a team. It's hard to get in the door. Yeah.
There's a lot of empty seats in Chicago across the board right now. White Sox, Cubs, Bears. Bulls are the hottest ticket in town, and they suck.
It'll probably fill up. They're going to retire Hosa's jersey here upcoming, so that'll probably be a packed house, I'm sure. I wanted to go, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. But yeah, hockey.
Is that what teams do now when they need a quick influx of cash or things are going wrong? Somebody just got caught in a scandal. Let's retire a number. Whose number can we retire? I know the football skins have been doing that with their last couple.
Like, yeah, buddy, we'll retire your number. Just give us a little bit of time. Enter scandal. Quick, make the phone call. I see it.
Yeah. All right. Let's get the bad news out of the way earlier. There were some significant injuries in week 4. CBS Sports sums them up nicely in an article here. I have 7 I would like us to discuss. 2 we can talk about later. That's a whole conversation in itself. This just came out today. Cordero Patterson is being placed on the injured reserve Atlanta Falcons running back / wide receiver / kick returner. A knee procedure that took place following the week 4 win over the Browns. Patterson missed practice time last week. While dealing with the injury, he will miss at least the next 4 games. So I guess Tyler Algier is the guy you want to go get in the fantasy world. I just talked to Tyler at the Sports Scramble podcast about that. That's what he said. Here's another one, John. Javonte Williams, the running back for your Denver Broncos, second-year running back, will miss the remainder of the season after sustaining a torn ACL during the Broncos' Week 4 loss to the Raiders. With him out, it's just Melvin Gordon. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Melvin Gordon? He's been fumbling the ball left and right.
Fumble Gordon? He that was the big inflection point in that game. I was with a bunch of Broncos fans up in the mountains watching it. It was a good time, but wow, it was not a fun game to watch with Broncos fans.
No. Jordan's in here. Good evening, Jordan. Hey, he's putting out articles left and right for us over at patriotsportsnow.com. Go check that out, the greatest website in the world. He does breadwinners and bed shitters every week. It's a clever new take on studs and duds. I love it. I don't know how we just keep finding people. You too, Jordan. I don't know how we keep finding these high quality individuals, but we do, and we're not going to question why, even though I keep saying it. What other injuries we got? Chris is here too. Oh, there he is. I see it now. I'm still getting acclimated to the StreamYard. I'm coming from the Riverside way of thinking. So I'm looking over here. I'm seeing names. I see us. I see Jordan. Okay, there he is. Chris is going to be on with us next week as well. By the way, he's over there running the trenches. That's a good time. We're up to 500 in the trenches. No big deal. We're resurrecting our season as we speak.
Chris says, "Go Bruins." That franchise is a mess. Unfortunately, you are right, Chris. That's absolutely true.
I need to brush up on hockey. I'm going to get into hockey. Baseball is pissing me off. Manfred might lose me. So
I don't know, a lot of people too, probably.
Oh, here you go, Angela. Here's a question for you. You reading it?
Let me see.
It should be right on our screen, the live stream.
Oh,
No, I see that. It doesn't.
the rest of the way. John, you're the Denver Broncos fan. Are you guys screwed? Do you think you're going to sign somebody?
maybe. This whole division has me completely confused. And if they sign somebody, I guess I'm a little bit of a Broncos cynic because I have no faith in Hackett whatsoever. So say they bring in somebody, is it going to matter? Are they going to be able to scheme their way into wins in the AFC West? Now, the AFC West isn't what we thought it was going to be. I mean, look at the Chargers are still good, but I mean, their quarterback's another hit away from being done. The Raiders can't seem to win except when they play the Broncos, and the Broncos just seem like a team that is two puzzles put together and they don't fit, but you think you're just convinced that they fit together, but they don't. So they've got some gelling to do. I think their issues go way beyond Melvin Gordon being their main running back right now.
Yep, Jordan's right. Hackett cannot hack it. You guys are screwed there. You needed Aaron Rodgers to come to town and run that team.
That was the point.
Jonathan Taylor taking an ankle. We heard first it was a high ankle sprain. Now we're hearing it's, quote, not overly serious. Methinks the franchise doth protest too much. I think this might be a big deal. So now this is in addition to whatever toe situation he had, which caused him to miss his first practice reportedly ever. So now we've got two problems below the knee, a guy who plays on turf. It's not a good situation. Chris and I lost him in the Trenches League, and now we feel like possibly dodged a bullet rather than took one. But it's been rough out there in these injury streets. Daniel Jones, Giants starting quarterback, he's considered day-to-day after sustaining an ankle injury. For a mobile quarterback, that's going to be a problem. Daboll said he's feeling a little bit better today. We'll just see how it goes. That doesn't sound optimistic. Treylon Burks, we just picked him up. I was excited about old Treylon Burks. He sustained a turf toe injury. They carted him off, Chris said. I didn't see it, but it sounded bad. He was immediately ruled out for extended time. Not good. The Titans might be in real trouble. They've already got Robert Woods coming off an ACL. Is the AFC South better than the AFC West right now? Well, the Chiefs look pretty good, but the AFC West has been so disappointing and the AFC South has been so surprising. The Jags legitimately one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Trevor Lawrence to do something that really catches my eye. Here we talk about a generational quarterback.
I think he gave it away 5 times.
4 fumbles. And I know because I had the Eagles defense in our fantasy league. But and I remember vehemently complaining about the points that defenses get when they get 4 fumbles, which is not enough. But yeah, I'm really just waiting for that guy to take off because he's got everything you would need in a quarterback, and yet just, I don't know, he has a lot of bad days.
Oh no, are you getting Jay Cutler vibes? All the measurables, big tall kid, he can chuck it, but for some reason he's not putting it together. I'm going to give him a little bit of a break because of the Urban Meyer thing. I think that set him back. That's like letting your kid drink Red Bull when they're 7. It's going to stunt some growth.
Well, it's like he spent a year with his stepdad who wasn't around much, and he has to relearn some discipline.
He didn't have to really go to school. He learned that if people don't meet expectations, you literally just kick them and tell them they're a piece of shit.
You got to
that's
pat him
supposed to
down for a
motivate them.
switchblade every day before school. You don't have to be like that.
Hey, Chris at Armchair Athletics he's been saying that Jonathan Taylor is not going to finish top 3 since day 0. Well, where were you at when we drafted him number 1?
Yeah.
Why
One
don't
of
you
them
slap me on the back of the head there, Fox?
One of them called it a bad pick. So what would have been the pick there at number 1? Because I don't think it's Jonathan Taylor, and it's definitely not Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I don't know. Fantasy has been so wild this year that Cooper Kupp hasn't been the outstanding. It's, no matter who you take at number 1, if it's not whoever everybody's talking about, you're going to get, you're going to have, you're writing a check. Like that might come to pass later where you look like a real moron, but you're also, the payoff is pretty great. Shaq Leonard, this sucks. Ruled out of the upcoming Thursday game against the Broncos. Shaq Leonard, the Indianapolis Colts outside linebacker, 5-time Pro Bowler, concussion. You know what I think? I think everybody who bumps their head for the next rest of the season is just going to get sat down for a month.
Totally. Absolutely.
While we figure this out, we have a microscope on us, and now people, I mean, I haven't checked, but I'm sure concussion is going to be back up there in the Netflix top 10 movies everybody's watching. Like, this is all back in the news cycle now, and they're not happy about that.
Was that the Will Smith movie?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So then it'll get suppressed again.
I went into panic mode yesterday. Like every time I was watching a game, I'm like, he hit his head. I think, did he hit? Yeah. I saw it hit. And then I was thinking to myself, if this is going to be a thing, like, are they going to run into, I mean, this is just me in my mind reeling. Is this a thing where they might end up having to extend rosters a little bit just so they have extra people? Like, I don't,
maybe
get out of control. I don't know.
The precedent was already set with COVID, really.
How many times did you guys hear the phrase unaffiliated neurosurgical consultant or whatever it was, neurological consultant? That just came out of nowhere.
Right.
It went from independent to unaffiliated. Just a little extra.
Yeah, right.
Back away slowly.
Exactly.
Not our fault.
Now, is that unaffiliated?
Does that just mean the fun got a little slushier? Like it was already slushy, but now it's slushier?
It could be, or it could just be they're unaffiliated in the sense that they have no skin in the game, whether he plays or not, which, wink, wink, is never going to be the case.
Yeah. Does that mean that it's not an actual paid, like they're not paid by the NFL, but they're actually like an independent consultant type thing?
That's what they allegedly are. This guy's been fired because, surprise, surprise, mistakes were made when Tua passed the protocol in 8 minutes.
Somebody's ass is going to get it, right? I mean, it had to be somebody. That's something that we just can't let slide. And certainly who's going to take the blame or be held accountable.
Yeah. And people are like, we got to fire people. We got to fine people. We got to do this and that. It's like, unless the verdict is build a time machine and go fix Tua's brain, I don't know what good it does him.
Do we have his name? Because there's a website you can look up to see if somebody's been disciplined. And I would imagine if he got fired, he would have faced some sort of discipline, and we can figure that out. I do a lot of research on medical professionals.
I was going to say, look at you getting all Sherlock Holmes over here.
If you took a payout from a big corporation and you work in the medical field,
here's what
I can find out pretty quick.
Here's what I don't think they're giving. Everybody's calling him the unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant.
Mm-hmm.
It's abbreviated to the.
They made it up. He doesn't exist.
I would not put it past Roger Goodell to do that, to create an entire fake person that they're firing,
right?
To make us all happy.
His name is Rusty Shackelford.
Right. Yeah. They're in the boardroom. Hear me out. My God.
Rap Sheet says the UNC was not really cooperative during the Tua investigation. He didn't really understand his role and was fired for multiple reasons. One of them being, you really made us look like a jerk here, pal.
Well, shit runs downhill though. So who hired that guy?
Yeah, we need to.
Serious?
We need to go up a couple.
Tom
runs.
Rinaldi, get him in there. That's his job.
Tom Rinaldi. Jahan Dotson, the Football Skins rookie wide receiver, also sustained a hamstring that could keep him out 1 to 2 weeks. But a hamstring is like an ankle, is like a knee. It's just a thing that's going to hang around all year. And as the weather gets cold, it's going to hurt in the morning and after the games a little bit more. Tell you what, I think I'm glad we got out of the Jonathan Taylor business when we did.
Yeah, that might have been a blessing.
I mean, it remains to be seen. That's a bold statement, but it's looking possible, at least possible. All right, let's get into actual podcast. Guys, I took no notes. I got hundreds of words here, not thousands of words, 600 words, and most of them are intros and outros. We're just talking football. I took a nap today after work. It's always when I wake up from a nap and it's dark out, my brain has to like re-download the whole day. Like, what time is it? AM or PM? What did I do? Why is my alarm going off? What am I supposed to be doing right now? I always feel like I missed something. I need 4 or 5 minutes to just gather myself. But injuries and naps aside, on to happier things like touchdowns. We started out with a London game and a double doink in the Viking Saints game. Vikings escape 28-25. I thought they were going to put us through overtime in that thing and push into red zone time.
Do you guys understand? I should have more gray hair than I do because of that quarterback. Good God. Somebody worded it. I saw it on Twitter. They were like, he's the absolute best at come from behind wins that he actually like sabotaged himself to start with. It's like, that's it, for sure. That's the guy.
Yeah, cool. You got yourself into this trouble and you're really good at getting yourself out of it.
Yeah, I was glad to see that Thielen got some action, this week. I'm always rooting for him because he's on my fantasy team besides the team itself, but I tell you what, it's hard. That's for sure.
Yep.
That was a great game to watch. I was late to church because I was watching that game.
That's how you know it's a good one.
Yeah, that was also a phenomenal double doink because it confused everybody. I felt like that was a good game for London.
It looked like it went.
It did.
Yeah. Dennis Allen thought it went. That sucks. As a victim of a double doink myself. Yeah, like he was cheering and then he's no. It was great.
Did you believe the double doink went in when you first saw it?
The angle that they set up on TV doesn't really lend itself to letting you know. I mean, you kind of just wait for the reaction of the announcers. So I saw the double doink and I just always assume that it doesn't go in because of that 2018 Bears season.
Because you're a Chicago fan?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you have to wait for that second replay angle to actually know it or believe it.
And it was so close. Like the instant replay was like 15 seconds because of all of the activity and everything. It was great.
Yeah.
Good game for London. Ted Lasso was there. I don't know if you saw him in the crowd, but the everyman, Jason Sudeikis, was there just drinking a beer, singing Sweet Caroline.
He's like the English Joey Votto now. Just hangs
he's
out among the people.
Yeah.
He really is a great dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Packers go over there next week. I wonder how the Packer faithful, we've always been very proud to be a team that's never lowered ourselves to international games. We don't need to do this gimmicky shit. We're the Green Bay Packers, for the love of God, since, the 1920s. But now we're going over there to play
Green Bay Street Hooligans. You guys are going to fit in real well with all of that. I mean, that's a very similar culture. Just people full of rage and drinking,
cold,
and
a lot of potatoes,
eating boiled meats. I mean, you guys are going to fit in like a glove, hand on a glove.
Yep. I bet there will be a majority Packer fans there. There's always, like we said, there's always a million jerseys, but I think Packer fans outnumber Giants fans over there.
You're going to see a lot of Tom Brady jerseys, probably.
That's a fact.
Just a lot of popular players.
It's going to be
LeBron James.
Yeah, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Oh gosh.
So was your quarterback getting booed early on in the
Difficult for me
game?
to-
Did I see that right?
Who what?
I thought Rodgers was getting booed early in the game when the shit wasn't exactly going right.
Blasphemy. That's never happened.
Nah. I'm not sure if we've ever booed him. Maybe. There's been a couple games, that 49ers game where he fumbled a couple times and threw 0 touchdowns. I would have booed him at home.
It sounded like it.
Wow. That's what you heard through those horns that you wear with that purple hat or whatever. What surprised me about Aaron Rodgers was how forgiving he was. Lazard was pretty much at fault for that interception, the pick 6, because he just kind of lazily turned rather than break his route off like he was supposed to, is at least what I saw as the casual observer on the couch who's never played a snap of NFL football. But he went right back to him. Dobbs, too, dropped that one in the end zone, went right back to him in overtime.
I think
Dobbs had a bad fumble, too.
Yeah, that's what matters the most. Like, I think that's the thing that kind of turns the table, is when he's able to keep himself calm, whereas before he might snap and freak out and bitch at people. I feel like that is an edge that he's gaining by maintaining his composure.
Hey,
like
I was really excited that not that Dobbs dropped that pass in the end zone. That sucked. But that the next shot, he came right back to him. He put him right back in the game. That's a new blue moon.
Yeah, blue of earth.
Blue earth Rodgers.
Yep.
That is not normal for Aaron Rodgers. If you miss that pass, you're not going to see the ball for another quarter.
Yeah.
Yep. That's that ayahuasca in there doing its thing, mellowing him out.
It worked. It got him right back in the game. He caught one. I mean, boom.
But isn't that the way you get somebody's confidence right back up? Like, you don't want that guy to be down in the gutter for the whole rest of the game.
And he's a baby, right? It's his first year.
Yeah.
You got to give him a shot. Let him get his legs underneath him.
Yeah, he's foster that.
Young kid from like the University of Nevada. So, yeah, you got to build his confidence. What's the word? Nurture the young man.
Foster.
Yeah.
Gosh, could you imagine if Aaron Rodgers was your dad? Speaking of nurturing and fostering. Anyway, I digress.
You wouldn't be there wouldn't be a TV in the house. You would be homeschooled. Mm-hmm. You would probably make your own clothes.
I don't know. He likes Wes Anderson movies. There would be.
Hey, Lazard's looking a little alpha out there.
You would have to watch The Princess Bride every single day until you learned it.
I think so. I think Lazard looks good out there. I think he looks really alpha-ish.
He made a great diving catch.
He made a few of them.
That one, the guy was all over him, and he just dove outside of the coverage, essentially, and caught the ball. I didn't think he was going to catch it. It was wild. It was similar to the Dobbs one that was dropped. Cardinals 26, Panthers 16. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Thanks to Chris, we had that in our contest picks. One of our 5 picks that went 4-1 this week. We tried to get rid of it because the Cardinals went from, I think, +1 to -1. But Chris said no. We're gonna pull that out of the garbage. He flattened it out. He changed the F to an A and stuck a plus on there. And we handed
it back to the teacher.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Signed by the parents.
Matt Rule is now 1-26 when his opponent scores 17 or more points, and like 24 of them are in a row.
Yikes!
Not that it matters where that one is. But
yeah, that's a very ESPN phrase you just said.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though. He should be better than that.
Yeah, he should be a little better than that.
How are there only 15 good quarterbacks, and how are there only 10 good head coaches in this world? It just blows my mind.
Yep. Well, the presidential candidates every 4 years blow my mind. Like, how is this? I've met a lot of smart people. You telling me none of them are better than this guy?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard Paul Chris is he's looking for a job. Is that right?
Yeah. He was let go.
That lost to Illinois.
He could have taken 20 mil. He took 11. He gave 9 back. What a guy. I don't think I would do that. In this economy? Hell no. Not giving $9 million back. You know how many rations that can buy me? I could buy a whole Mad Max car for that, probably. You're going to need that pretty soon.
You're going to need that.
Yep. Matt Rule should be looking for a job, probably.
Hey, we'll take him up here.
Yeah, I'm thinking that timing is ideal. Well, let's see how Jim Leonard does. Jim Leonard ain't going to do the throwing the ball that I want the Badgers to do. Every time we get a new coach, I'm like, ooh, is this guy going to throw? No. Ooh, is this guy going to? No. Paul Christie, we got a quarterback. They said we got a quarterback. No.
3 yards in a cloud of dust. 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
But at the end of the game, you got 417 rushing yards. So
and 11 points.
11 points. And 2
a lot of
ACLs.
fans.
Yeah.
I wonder how Jim Leonard's going to do as head coach. The NFL has wanted him as a defensive coordinator for years, and he just keeps saying, no, I want to stay in Madison. So I don't know if he wins a bunch of games. I'm a big Jim Leonard guy. More interesting news. I was going to say more good news, but we just talked about 2 people losing their jobs.
Who got paid?
Here's good news, though. But there is some good news. Is that what someone would say to transition? Brian Robinson, Redskins, nope. Football team, running back, has been cleared by medical staff to play professional football. Shot twice, just 6-8 weeks ago?
Wow.
He was out running drills a couple weeks ago, and now he's medically legal to go play. That's crazy. I wonder if he will. They should put him out. They should start him. He should take the first snap. Just, there's another word I'm looking for that I can't find, but the optics of it would look good. Get the kid out there, get the crowd fired up. But how is Dan Snyder going to screw this up? He's going to somehow screw up this kid's debut, and I'm just not sure how. Bring his family in, maybe take pictures of him next to some garbage cans, put it on social media.
You're probably going to test him for painkillers and be like, oops, can't play.
Oh my God, there it is. Yeah.
It's like, dude, I got shot.
Fuck you, prick. From the doctor. DK was carted off the field. I thought that was a medical issue, but he just had to take a shit. He called the cart. He called the cart to pick him up from the bench to drive him to the restroom.
That's awesome. That's awesome. He should have done that.
Fantasy bros were freaking out. DK just got carted off the field. What's going on? He's having such a day. And I think what he said was the clenched walk wasn't going to do it. Something to that effect. Like, if you have that card, if I had a guy who would just pick me up in a golf cart and take me to a bathroom, I'd use that if I could.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the Kevin Garnett in the wheelchair. He shit his pants and got wheeled out.
Boy, I had totally forgotten about that.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks because I have ulcerative colitis, which means that sometimes every once in a while you've got 22 seconds. And so there's been times where you have to go into fight or flight and look around and what is the least worst option here right now.
Oh my God.
And that's not a fun scenario when you're in France and don't know where to go. So I appreciate the fact that he surveyed the surroundings and said, give me the medical cart. He should have just stuck with something else, though.
Know thyself. That is key.
Right.
Self-awareness. Yes, Jonah. Oh shit. That's what
I mean. It's the human body. Every day's a mystery.
Everybody poops. There's a book that was made for children.
Indeed.
Everybody poops.
Indeed. Was Kenny Pickett shitty or not? That's the question there. He threw 3 picks, but he did get a first down on a 4th and 1 on a quarterback sneak. He got a rushing touchdown on a quarterback sneak. Tough kid, but likes to give the football away. If you're going to turn the ball over that much, Pickett, going to be an unfortunate name to have.
The last one doesn't really count because of the Hail Mary.
Yeah, you can take that one off. That's really 2 picks.
Good point. Absolutely.
Shout out to Jonah in Oklahoma. What's up, brother? Hope everything's going well.
Down there in purple Oklahoma. Pink.
Nope. Tulsa, right outside of Tulsa. Right outside.
Right outside of Tulsa. Is that a Yes. The guy from Pink is in our other league. Now that I've met him, I have a lot of Norman, Lincoln, Pink. There's a lot of Oklahoma cities I'm learning. Now I don't match.
Since we've started this podcast, I keep running into people from Oklahoma.
Now, is that
great people?
You're like looking for them now.
Yep. Is that confirmation bias? Like if you buy a Dodge Neon, all you notice are people in Dodge Neons?
Definitely.
I mean, good use of confirmation bias.
There's
where'd
a
you
word
learn
for
that?
Sports gambling.
2 points for Gryffindor.
I feel like I've been introduced to 4 people from Oklahoma here in Denver in the last 3 months, which I had never met anybody from Oklahoma until I moved here. So it's good. Yeah, it seems.
I agree, Jonah. That's a great state. I agree. Good people. Coaches from Oklahoma. Adam.
Yeah.
I will say this. Everybody I've met from Oklahoma is a top shelf person. This is the word I was looking for, the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. They refer to it as frequency illusion. Now that your brain has taken note of your new car, it will alert you when it sees it elsewhere on the road. When it sees it elsewhere, talking about my brain like it's not me, that's too deep. That's too deep for me.
Yeah.
The Steelers 0-7 now without TJ Watt to bring us back to football. Boy, that guy is vital.
Second most important position on the football field. The guy throwing the ball and the guy chasing the guy throwing the ball.
Yep. You got those 2 guys and the guy protecting the guy who's throwing the ball.
Can we spend a minute to dance on Mitch Trubisky's grave?
Yeah, I was going to ask you how you felt
waiting for that.
you put in our chat, our group text, who had Kenny Pickett week 4, and I got all excited. I was like, oh yeah, our bold predictions. I think I said he would play against the Jets, but then I thought, I think John said earlier than that.
Mm-hmm. I did. I mean, gosh, he's just bad. He's just not good. And so it makes perfect sense. I just wonder what that locker room was like when my boy Tomlin was just like, okay, we're going with Pickett. And then he looks down at the ground and waits for everybody to just be like, yes. And then they go to Pickett. I actually like somebody who can go in. It's a pretty good situation. And maybe this is what Tomlin had envisioned the whole time, is that you give the guy a chance. You provide for a scenario where Pickett comes in with nothing to lose and everybody's rooting for him. And that's an ideal situation. And he's gunslinging, and sure, he throws interceptions, but he's not afraid to throw an interception, which is a pretty good place for a quarterback to be. And so I think it's unfolding kind of how I saw it before the season even started. Mitch Trubisky, other than, something extravagant happening in the offseason where he just completely picked up a bunch of tools that he never had, he wasn't going to last long because he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's an adequate backup for a game or two, but he's not going to win a playoff game.
Yeah, he's a get you through an ankle injury kind of guy.
Yeah, he's kind of like a B- Nick Foles.
Yeah,
and that's not a compliment.
The guy who backed up Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. I'm blanking on his name, and that's what he is. He's a guy whose name we'll blank on in 2 years. Who was that guy before Pickett? He played for the Bears. That's how we will be talking about Mitch Trubisky. Mm-hmm. There was a noticeable energy shift. It seemed almost not quite as significant, but almost as much as when Baker came in for the first time in that Monday night game. Seemed like the team got fired up. Like, okay, we knew this was going to happen eventually. It's happening. Let's go. And a little bit with Bailey Zappi too. The Patriots fucking hung in there.
Western Kentucky.
That game. Wow.
Yeah.
he set records at Western Kentucky. That kid's a football player. I don't know why they even bothered with Hoyer. You got this Zappy kid. You're so good at developing QBs. Let's see what he's got. I was a little worried we were going to lose to the third string kid at home.
Yeah. Yeah, I kept wondering why the Packers couldn't put that one away.
I thought he caught that ball. I had already jumped off the couch and was, running around celebrating. And then I heard the television tell me, no, it's time to sit back down.
So once you saw the replay, Eric, did you still call that a catch? Because he really did possess it, and he's in the end zone, and then he hits the ground, then it comes out.
My head knew it was never going to be a catch, but my heart was like, maybe. Like,
so I've watched the NFL a lot, so I kind of knew that wasn't going to be a catch. Like he missed the football move in there or whatever they want to call it. But my wife Kate and the neighbor Brooke lost their ever-loving minds.
Oh, they thought,
and you know what? I couldn't argue with them because he caught it.
He possessed it.
He tucked it. He's in the end zone. He hits the ground. This hits the ground first.
So time should stop right there. As soon as he hits the ground, what matters after that happens?
So I'd love to get like the official ruling on that. Like what was he missing?
If the ground can't cause a fumble,
Sterator coming in, is he gonna?
Right.
Well, it wasn't a fumble. It was an incomplete pass, right? And it can cause an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
But he did catch it, move it, tuck it, hit the ground here, and then the ball squirts out from underneath him. What do you think, John? Did you see it?
I missed it. I was blacked out from that game.
I thought it was a catch. I did. But what the fuck do I know?
I thought there was.
I did.
It depends who the ref is, how his day's been going, what he thinks of Romeo Doubs.
That's not good. Like it shouldn't depend on all that.
No.
Nope. The human element. That kid is going to be a player for us, though. I think number 87 is going to be here for a while.
I just can't say enough how incredibly excited I was to watch Rodgers go back to him on the next play.
Yes.
It wasn't the next play because that series was over, but the next series on first down, he went right to Dobbs on an outback slant.
He's the one who got us into field goal range in overtime. He just kept going to him on the outside. That put us like 1 yard over on his yardage in our sleeper.
Because when he dropped it, Eric, I was like, well, there's a receiver on the bench. Like basically,
that's how
there's a blocker.
Been.
Yeah, there's a blocker.
Yep. Like, young guy drops a huge ball. No.
That's a good tactic, though. Like, it's mentally smart for him to do that. Like, whether he's actually in a forgiving and redemptive type mood, or that's not the case at all. And he's like, oh, everybody's got my number from what I've been doing. Like, why don't I change it up and act like I'm benevolent?
Angela, his ego died in that jungle. He came back a new man, and he now forgives his wide
I kind of buy it, actually. I wasn't so sure, but it's very possible.
You can still
maybe he's speaking smarter now.
Of the old Aaron Rodgers, though.
After it happened, you could see he was pretty pissed. Which, yeah, that's natural. That's natural. But I feel pretty good about this Packers team. I was a little worried about the receivers, but Dobbs is, before the season started, when Rodgers was saying he was making wow plays in practice at camp, I said, oh, he's going to be a guy. Then I jumped on the hype train immediately, but I didn't expect this. I thought it would take most of the season.
So we have Lazard. He's looking really alpha-ish. He's great when he's getting the ball. He's he's doing all the things you want to see. You got Dobbs out there catching those dink and dunk, whatever. But he's also he can streak the field too. He's going to make that catch 8 times out of 10. The one in the end zone. It's just that's the way it went. But he'll make those. And then you got this geriatric Cobb coming across the middle,
dude,
just doing things on top. I'm like, wait a minute.
If
we're
Cobb,
still good.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of vitamins and minerals Cobb's on, but I like what he's doing. He is turning back the clock. Matt Ryan, not turning back the clock. Matt Ryan has fumbled 9 times. He has been sacked 74 times already.
A Bularian,
not really. The fumble
times.
9 times.
The fumble number is real. He's on pace to set a record for fumbles lost. I think his hand signed a contract that his body had already retired. He was like, "What are you doing? We can't do this." He was. I mean, I think he knew what he was doing. This guy. I keep saying he should wear a ski mask because he's stealing that money. He knew when he signed that paper that he was not up to the task, but he saw the big number next to the words guaranteed money and he took it. Colts are much worse than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah. I hate to speak ill of the people who aren't here, but Coach really hyped them up in the offseason. Really hyped them up, and they are bad.
Wait, who do you hype up? Who was it?
The
The
Colts.
Indianapolis.
Oh my God. Where are you at on that, Coach?
Yeah, we'll have to check the tape.
Oh, they're gonna be good.
Yeah.
They're gonna be real good. Are they?
Yep.
Says
Are they?
who?
I can't believe I didn't have this at the top. Actually, I don't have it anywhere. I just see Corn Pop up here. I don't know if you guys have any Corn Pop nominees. I didn't really have any from the field of play that I could think of from yesterday. But I did see JJ Watt just casually tweeted that he had his heart shocked back into rhythm on Saturday, and then he went out and played on Sunday. Like, no big deal, guys. My heart stopped. Jay Glazer's going to report it, but I'm going to go play football anyway. That's how JJ Watt is, though.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something heroic going on, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
AFib's a weird thing. Like, there's lots of people who have it and you can get by, okay for a really long time like that, but it's really draining for you. Like, it makes you tired and fatigued, actually. And so once he had that happen and they shocked it back, and they're lucky that it worked because it doesn't always work. But when that happened, he probably did feel like $1 million again. So
yeah, that's true.
Scary.
That's when I knew our Cardinals pick was a lock. I was like, oh, can you imagine the hype speech he's giving in the locker room right now? Guy just came back to life to play football. This is incredible. Well, this is the last time we'll have to update our survivor team. We are dead. We took the Browns. We have perished. But on a more positive note, the next thing here is our Trenches League team update, which is now 2-2. What, a 2-game winning streak? Are we officially 2-2? Am I saying that before I can? No. It's mathematically impossible to defeat us this week. Mathematically impossible. Not just theoretically impossible. So, we've acquired a couple better players. Jonathan Taylor, we lost. We acquired Naheem Hines. Someone else in the league spent their entire budget to acquire Jonathan Taylor. So this tips the scales a little bit more towards these are all positive things for us, negative things for competition. I feel like if we just keep incrementally better each week, we'll have that $5,000 in our pocket. Come January, did they say? It's 20 weeks. Yeah. We'll survive it. Monday night predictions. Not doing those. Super podcast picks. We went 4-1. No big deal. Browns bit us there, too. I guess I'm just not a Browns fan anymore. What were we doing trusting Jacoby Brissett?
I don't know.
I mean, I fell asleep at probably the third quarter mark of that Sunday night game. How did that end? I woke up at 2 a.m. on the couch.
with the whole bag of Cheetos on your chest?
Yep.
And gummy bears?
Yeah, right.
Gummy bears still in your mouth?
Oh, a night where you sleep half on the couch, half in bed. That's not a full night of sleep. Those couch minutes don't count as real minutes. You know what I mean? You're not fully rested off couch sleep till 2 on the couch and then to bed. Well, I get up at 3:30. So I guess I essentially slept on the couch.
You fell asleep.
How did we get here?
Against Mahomes and
I don't
Brady?
know. It was like poop, sleep. We did the whole thing.
It's the bodily function.
We've covered all the necessary. So,
does anybody have any boils? Should we talk about that?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Hey, we were talking about DK Metcalf's bathroom habits, not ours. I feel like that's fair game. He's famous. So I nominate JJ Watt for coming back from the dead. for this week's Corn Pop Award. Corn Pop was a bad dude. He ran with some bad boys. And I feel like J.J. Watt displayed exemplary badassery on the gridiron and beyond with his outright determination to return from death to play football. All in favor of J.J. Watt.
How do we say no to J.J. Watt ever?
Exactly. Can't.
No.
You can't. Nobody even had 16 tackles that I noticed. I don't know.
I'm checking it right now.
Oh man, I think we lost Wisconsin.
Again. He's like, let me check. And I'm like, wow.
Hello, Wisconsin.
It's taking a long time checking.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, maybe they're not checking anymore. It's not like we can end the podcast. So, there he is.
Hello, Wisconsin.
And they're back.
And they're back. All right. I'm going to wrap this thing up. We're going to go watch the rest of the Monday Night Football game, and then we'll be right back here. Go check out the trenches every week. You can see us on there. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll have, hang on, before I do that, remember, we'll have Chris Fox from the Trenches and Armchair Athletics on next week. He can tell you about all the stuff they got going on over there. It is awesome. All right, now I'll do the thing. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for all of your support, spreading the word, consuming our... Don't miss the Football Super Podcast every Saturday morning at 7:30 Central and every Sunday morning at 7:30. Tune in for Wake and Rake. Get all your fantasy and general football questions ready. Go check out PatriotSportsNow.com, the greatest website in all the land, 100% American made by Shouse in the House. On that website, you'll find a forum in which you can discuss any and all things sports. It's all about meeting the people where they are, interacting with them. You being the people in that equation. Okay, it's either, wait, I don't know. I decided to point at the camera and it threw me off. I was thinking in my mind, was that cool that you pointed at the camera, or did you look like an idiot? I think it's the latter. Okay, it's time for more football. Until next time, be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.
You've been listening to Patriot Sports Radio. If you're sick of all the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media, like we are, this show is for you. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. For more content and merch, hit up www.patriotsportsnow.com. Find us on Twitter at PatriotsPod, on Instagram and Facebook at Patriot Sports Now, and on Getter, Rumble, and YouTube at Patriot Sports. Take care, and we'll see you next time.